I recently made a video where I asked my favourite creators what their best tips were, go-to tricks and whatever to buy and find the best retro frames. You guys loved this video, it did very well, and you had lots of cool things to say about it in the comments. Well, when I made that video, I kind of asked all my favourite creators and they were all really up for it. But I only gave them like 2 or 3 days to send me the stuff because it was kind of like a very last minute idea, and I was like, I've just had this idea, any chances you can make me a video within like 2 days and then send it to me so I can make a video at the weekend? And that wasn't very kind. I didn't give them a lot of time at all, and 3 of them were sent like on the button as pretty much as the video went live, and they were so good that I felt really guilty. So I was gonna make this video no matter what, but I have something I wanted to ask you as well. So I really enjoy this format and quite like the idea of doing more of these, and the guys that got involved and some guys that didn't want to get involved next time, I'm working on a series, if you like, of questions where I ask the community. But I want to hear from you guys. I had an idea literally today as I was making this. I'd really like to see your kind of summer builds. Like a lot of us build bikes for seasons. I've got a summer build at the moment which will probably change into a winter build soon, or I might just build something completely different. Who knows? But I want to know about yours. I'm not going to go into details with that right now. I want to talk about that more at the end of the video. But let's head to East London to hear from Leighton Bike Shack their best tips for picking up frames.
Here at the Bike Shack, and here's our tips for buying a frame. So a lot of these are going to be mechanically focused. As you know, we do loads of repairs, so let's lean into that. First thing, seat posts. Make sure your seat post isn't seized. This is so common on used frames. We see it all the time. So when you go and view the bike, undo the bolt here and just make sure you can move the seat post or take it out entirely. That leads me on to the next thing. Similar problem is bottom brackets. So if the frame has had the bottom bracket removed when you buy it, just check the threads, make sure they're in good condition. You can tell this visually. If it still has the bottom bracket in there and you've got the tools, I'd highly recommend removing it just to make sure that you still can. Right, moving on to the next one, head tube size. If you are running your existing forks, you need to make sure the head tube size is gonna fit with the steerer tube on your forks. For example, with this Surly, it has a massive head tube. So unless you've got a long steerer on the forks, you're gonna run into problems. Now, next one, I know loads of you guys have dream build visions, and some of them have cool funky tires, which are like 45 or 50C gravel tires. You go out with an idea in mind, you buy a frame, all of a sudden your wheels don't fit, your tires don't fit. So check your frame sizing. Make sure that the wheel sizing is correct, so that's 700C if that's your size, or whatever size you're gonna run. And then check for tire spacing. A lot of people nowadays, they want to run wider tires, that's super popular. So measure the frame with a tape measure or a ruler and just see how much tire clearance you have, and that will tell you what you could run in there. Look what's happened.
You're a magnetic guy, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a magnetic guy. All right, so there's lots more in the locker, but there are a few frame tips for now, some key ones in there. If you need any more, give us a shout or ask Craig at Second Life Bikes. I'm sure we'd be happy to help. Peace out.
Hey, I'm Joe, or some of you might know me as Streuner. And what are my tips on getting vintage mountain bike frames or bikes? First of all, I would suggest you get a full bike, because you will get the most bang for your buck. And there will be something on there that you want to use later down the line, even though most of the parts will be cooked. Part of the game. And second of all, get something that fits you. Don't get a fancy brand or fancy tubing. I mean, it's super nice if it's there, don't get me wrong, and I'm a sucker for GTs, Breezers, Specialized, Trek, Marin, Koga Miatas. All those brands are super cool, but better first look out if the frame actually fits you, because if it doesn't fit you, if it's too big or too small, you're not gonna have the best ride. And trust me, I've been there. I've built a titanium frame that was way too small for me, so I didn't really ride it more than I think 10 kilometers, and then stripped it again. So make sure bike fits you, and then make sure to get out and have fun. And if you want to spend money on the bike, get some nice tires, some nice saddles, some nice grips, and maybe some nice handlebars, because those things are just way more important. See you.
Right, frame buying guide, vintage ones. First you're going to need a hat, that's a must. Right, I've watched part 1 and everything really has been covered. The hat doesn't look too good. Anyway, so I'm just going to tell you my opinions. First things first, lugs. Make sure it's got lugs, because that's just the best, alright? Don't ask any questions about it, just make sure it's got lugs. Make sure it's got a sticker that says Reynolds, the nicer the better. As you can see, this one doesn't have lugs, doesn't look as good, but still, make sure it's got that sticker. Now that sticker's been rubbed off, but it did have one. Make sure it's got that sticker. That one's a fancy sticker. Make sure it's got that sticker. Are you getting the idea yet? There's the sticker. Eddie Merckx, he's also got that sticker. Look, there it is. That's a little bit different. It's still the sticker. Reynolds. Ribble. And guess what? There's that sticker again, and again a little fancy one there for you. So I think I'll do my final thoughts. My final thoughts are this. Reynolds steel, yes. Also Columbus, but I have never found one, so they're quite spenny. Don't bother with carbon fibre, or you'll end up with something that looks like that. Have a look. Carbon, won't waste your time. It's a slippery slope. Ta-ra!
And that's that. Massive thank you to the guys for making this. It still blows me away that I asked a load of creators. I was like, hey, do you fancy helping me make some content? And everybody was super keen and into it. So very grateful. Thank you very much. If you haven't followed these guys already, here's their handles. Go check them out on Instagram. Some of my favorite accounts. Everybody that I got involved in this, like, I used them because I thought their accounts were really good and I liked what they did. So it made sense, and that's that. I also said about the fact at the beginning of this video that I want to do something with you. So I have made a folder on my Google Drive, which I'm going to link down below. It's called Summer Bike Project, something like that. And it'd be awesome if you could send me clips of your bike, either like 10 seconds clips of this, that and the other different things, or even maybe a 30 second, 40 second clip of you talking about your summer build and why it's like it is. If you're not keen on that, you could even send me some photos and a little bit of text. The only thing I do ask is if you're going to get involved in this, please put them in folders on the drive with your Instagram handle, or at least your name if you don't have Instagram, and I can at least kind of have them filed and it's not just a mess of stuff. If it's just a mess of stuff, I'm not going to look into it properly. If it's a folder, it'll be easier for me to manage. So photos, a bit of text about the bike, or a little video, or a bunch of little tiny clips, and I'll just edit them together with a bit of text that you've given me as well. Whatever kind of suits you. So if you want to get involved, I want to hear about your summer projects. What have you been riding? Why have you been riding? And why did you choose the components? The components are the key element here, because I feel like, and I'm going to be doing probably a video about winter builds in a few months' time, how do you change your bike throughout the year? I want to know about it. So if you're interested in that, the link's down below, and I'll probably shout this out on Instagram a bunch, and it'll probably be a few weeks and I'll put all of it together and hopefully it'll be a very cool video. And that's that. If you're into this kind of content, cycling is our game. We make lots of different cycling videos, whether it be reviews, rides, builds, and all sorts of other stuff in between. If you like this sort of stuff and you haven't subscribed already, or even if you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed, that's the subscribe button just there. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a bunch. And if you can't wait to the next video, which will be every week, that one there is a particularly good one.